Well, 30 years ago, we were approached by the city and cable company to start a local access channel in the city of Waupaca. And at that time, the cable company had to supply the city with some funds to get started, which they did. And then back in April 10th of 1985, we started with our message center that we called it, I think it was TV 22 at that time, message center, which was a community bulletin board. And then the first live program we did was the Waupaca City Council meeting. At that time, that was in the basement. The city hall at that time was in the basement of what is now the police department. And we had a little room off to the back corner, which the police department also used for their black and white dark room. So, you know, we kind of shared the space. And I think we had one camera, and then when we got our second camera, we didn't have any way of switching it, so we ended up just using a simple little AB switch that we got at a local electronics store, and that's how we had to switch from one camera to another. But as we, progressed, we started doing more things. It was a couple of years of just doing city council meetings, and then I always wanted to do some type of sports broadcast. So then we started doing local high school football games. And we would take, one of the volunteers had a pop-up camper that we'd take out, set all the equipment up. We had to carry everything up that we had. There was no elevators in the old building. We would get to the football field probably a good 3 hours before the game just to get everything set up and lay out the cables. And I think at that time we probably had 4 cameras. We started experimenting with doing our own instant replay. I mean, nothing fancy that, like the networks do for sports, but we did what we did with the equipment and the technology we had at that time. Looking ahead now 30 years to what we have, I mean, I was sharing a story the other day with somebody where I was excited when the first chip camera came out because we were using old tube cameras. Now everything is digital. I look back at what we had 30 years ago and what's available today, and just the technology that's happened in the last 30 years. I don't know, I think some of the other, we just did so much stuff back then, and we relied strictly on volunteers, just like WinTV does now. We had branched out, working with, I'm not sure what he was. We were working with the high school and one of the teachers at the high school who was involved in computers and that. And I talked to him and I said, you got any, promising students that might want to be volunteers for, the local access channel? So working with him in the high school, he was able to find us a few high school volunteers. And a lot of them, today, they got their start at the local access channel. One of them, Derek Johnson, who goes by Derek James, his air name is Derek James. He worked radio for a while. He went to school, went to college for broadcasting, journalism major. And now he's a morning anchor host for like a Good Morning network TV show out in Charlotte, North Carolina.
My name's Derek Johnson. On TV, I'm Derek James, and I was a volunteer at WinTV back when it was called City 6 and City 16 while in high school in the mid and late 90s. Now, I started behind the scenes as a camera operator for the Waupaca City Council meetings, and I remember my mom would have to pick me up when the council meetings were over, sometimes pretty late at night. Mayor Lewinsky had a tendency to sometimes go a little long. Under the guidance of Steve Fenske, I learned audio, graphics, and directing, along with tape-to-tape editing. Along with all my behind-the-scenes work, I was also the executive producer and one of the hosts on a weekly news show called Video News Live, which was produced entirely by students. Now, during my time at City 6 and 16, I not only learned all those fundamentals of TV production, but I was also mentored by some great on-air talent, names you know like Jim King, Dan Hansen, and Dan Davies, among others. I also made some lifelong friends in Chad Richards, Mike Luce, Tristan Rice. My start at Waupaca City Access led to my first radio job at WDUX while still in high school, and that led to jobs at WIFC, WIXX, and several other stations across the state. A little more than 10 years ago, I made the transition back to TV as a host, meteorologist, and reporter. Today, I'm the host of WCCB News Rising. It's a daily 4-hour morning news and entertainment program right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is one of the top 25 markets in the country. And I can say with certainty, I would not be here where I am right now if it weren't for the building blocks that I received from Steve Fenske and everyone at City 6 and 16. So congrats, WIN TV, on 30 years of not only providing a service to the city of Waupaca, but for providing opportunities for those with aspirations in television to learn and hone their craft. Happy 30th.
Another volunteer, he did a lot of the election updates with us in the early days. He's now a movie producer, and he's got his second movie coming out here in the next couple of months.
Dan Davies is now an actor and screenwriter. He wasn't able to join us to record a greeting for this program, but talked to us over the phone. He let us know that WIN TV was a great training ground where you could do anything you wanted, and the sky was the limit. Dan, who was involved in the late 80s, said he had a lot of fun. He has been involved in a number of movies, including Ed Gein the Musical and Wests of Thunder.
Man on a killing spree. My mom says I'm dating. Weird like a thug, I'm in love. 'Cause she's all cooked up.
Few of my church members have been asking me about this Henry C. He's got him spooked a bit. Who do you think he is?
A Thunderbeam.
It was just fun and exciting to try new things, push the envelope a little bit more. I think the most fun we had was when we used to do election update returns. Anytime the city had, any contested races, we would set up in the city council room, the old one and even in the current council room as our set, because we didn't have a studio or anything like we have this beautiful, set now. But we would do election returns. We would break in, every half hour with, the latest results. We would send people out into field to do interviews. Of course, at that time, we didn't have any live capabilities, so we'd have to record it, bring it back here. We'd have, some crash editing to do, and then we'd air the interview with, whoever it happened to be, a candidate or somebody that won one of the races. So we always had a lot of fun like that. Again, we would just try to do something fun and exciting, something different, and provide some quality programming for the viewers, of the cable access channel at that time. When we first started the local access channel, we were trying to find ideas, for programming besides the city council meeting. And I was at the county fair. At that time, I worked for the local radio station, and we were doing live broadcasts from the county fair. And there was actually the one exhibitor was the cable company at that time. And my wife worked at the cable company, or my wife now worked at the cable company. And so I walked up, and they were one of the people that was due for a live broadcast. So I walked up, introduced myself, and we did the live broadcast. And I said, I'm working, putting together a live TV or a TV program for Waupaca. She goes, well, I do aerobics. I'm an aerobics instructor. I says, great, how about if I make you a star and you can be the aerobics teacher and have your own TV show? And that's how we met. And we've been married for almost 30 years, so almost as long as WIN TV has been around. Yeah, well, it was funny, man. I just, we still joke about that how I was going to make her a star, and she was going to be a huge aerobics instructor, and never did a single episode.
Hi everyone, my name is Deborah Boyer Fenske, and I'm an alderman with the City of Waupaca. I'd like to take this opportunity to say happy birthday to WIN TV. Years ago, back in the 80s, when TV 22 first started, I met Steve Fenske at the fair. And he had an idea And I was teaching aerobics at the time, and he was going to put my class on TV, and he didn't, which was a good thing. But in doing this, I found out that I also had an interest in TV and all the electronics that go with it. So after Steve and I started dating, he got the TV station running, and we would do football games and city council meetings. And we would do pretty much anything that people wanted to see. So back then, our volunteers would have to do everything. If we were doing a football game, we all carried the equipment. We all set it up. We would take it down, and it was long nights, heavy work, heavy lifting, but definitely worth it. And looking back over all these years, and seeing where we were then and where it is now, it's amazing to me to see the technology, to see the people who still are very enthused in this. We were pulling kids out of the schools who had interest in it. And now with Derek James doing his program in South Carolina, and Dan Davies, who I did a lot of election returns with, he is making movies. And they all started here, which is a very cool thing when you think about it. I would really like to say congratulations, WIN TV, TV 22, City 6, City 16, on 30 years of amazing, amazing programs. And I hope for another 30 years, and I hope I'm here to share it with you again in 30 years.
Whether on TV 22, City 6 or 16, or WIN TV Channel 96 or 991, up and down the dial, a tradition of government and community has been the focus of WAPACA's cable TV operation. Your community, your government, your TV station. You're watching WAPACA's WIN TV.
Coming up on City 6 TV, WAPACA Comet Sports Action. You're watching City 6.
Components of typical wood-burning systems, technologies available to us today, some of the safety aspects.
We want to welcome you all here today. This is Aaron Utsi. He's a mountain bike trials rider. He spent this summer, if you're from the WAPACA area, you may know him. He spent 52 days this summer traveling on what's called the Vans Warped Tour, doing bike demonstrations 3 times a day in 45 different cities, starting in Phoenix, Arizona, and ending up in Detroit, Michigan. He traveled over 17,000 miles on a bus. He recommends it as a way to travel, right, Aaron? He's going to be doing some different stunts for you today.
Elvis Aaron Presley was born January 8th, 1935, and as we mark the 51st anniversary of his birth, the effects of his life and of his music are still felt around the world today. His record for all-time #1 single and for the most records by a single performer still stand today. To commemorate his life, many men are carrying out the tradition of his music. And in likeness of that, tonight on Let's Talk, we bring to you G.L. Wesley.
Your heart is true. Don't let it prove. Your heart is true. Yeah, no one will love. Baby, it's just you are laying on. Yeah.
Good evening, I'm Bob Spick, and welcome to TV22's Let's Talk. Tonight we're very fortunate to have with us Gary Wesley. Gary is from Milwaukee, and he's an Elvis impersonator. Gary, thanks for being with us tonight. First of all, let's talk a little bit about the career of Elvis Presley. What was it that you think first attracted the young fans and the hysteria surrounding Elvis to him?
By Davies, a second by Jim Smith. Nominations be closed. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion is carried. And we'll ask the clerk then to ballot for the office of council president.
Here he is.
Hey, quit giving Pat 2 votes.
No fair, Pat.
Good evening, everyone. We'll call this November meeting of the Waupaca City Council to order. And we'll begin. Would you join me with the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll.
James Lewinsky.
Here.
James Boyer.
Here.
Mary Polubitsky. Paul Hagan.
Here.
William Parker.
Here.
Yolanda Perry.
Here.
Patrick Baer.
Here.
Mary Kay Pullman.
Here.
Brian Smith.
Here.
Dan Wolfgram.
Here.
Charles Whitman.
Here.
We have 9 present, 1 absent, and we have a quorum.
Depending upon interest and focus of WIN TV's staff and volunteers over the years, 2 programs have been a mainstay for most of WIN TV's 30 years on the air: Waupaca City Council meetings and the 4th of July Hometown Days Parade. Jim King and Dan Hansen talk a little bit about covering the parade for nearly 3 decades.
Hi, this is Jim King. I first started broadcasting parades for a radio station in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and I thought it was kind of odd. We didn't really have a choice because the radio station was located right above the parade route, and we were going to carry the sound from the parade whether we wanted to or not. It turns out that, and we learned very quickly, that shut-ins, people who were at work, people in hospitals and nursing homes really enjoyed the parade. And when I got the opportunity to do it here on WIN TV with my longtime broadcasting partner and friend, Dan Hansen, man, I couldn't say yes fast enough. For all the years we've been able to do the Hometown Day Parade here on WIN TV, I am honestly grateful and honored that they'd even consider letting me do it. Thanks a lot, WIN TV, and happy birthday.
This is Dan Hansen. Congratulations to WIN TV on 30 years of providing quality local entertainment and information programming to people in the greater Waupaca community. It's been my pleasure to be a part of WIN TV for almost all those 30 years, serving as a member of the Advisory Cable TV Board and as a volunteer on numerous broadcasts, including Waupaca High School football and basketball games, and for the past 25 years as a part of the team bringing you the Waupaca 4th of July Parade. Thanks to Waupaca's mayors, past and present, and members of the City Council for their support. Special thanks also to Steve Fenske, John Pori, Chad Richards, and Josh Werner for your leadership and expertise. And special thanks to all the volunteers who worked in front of the camera and behind the scenes, providing great local television for over 30 years.
This begins with local law enforcement, Stan Hansen, and what I see is a squad car. We appreciate it even more when they can take the day off, and it's nice to know they're ready.
A special thanks to Jim King and Dan Hansen for nearly 30 years of service to WIN TV, including announcing the 4th of July Hometown Days Parade. Here's a look back.
In front of the library on Main Street on the 4th of July for this Hometown Days Parade, we'd like to
This is April. We have this nice weather and just a wonderful way to enjoy it.
Fireworks display tonight at dusk. And all I can say is I hope to see you right here next year.
The annual Chain of Lakes Lighted Boat Parade starting about 9 o'clock out at Taylor Lake, and that'll go back a Hometown Days Parade for many years. And the former sales manager at Waupaca County Post, Jim Williams.
And we've looked into beautiful days for parades for years now. And this is just the kickoff to the whole day. Dan and I do on occasion. There are a lot of jobs working with computers and doing other things in television that are available.
You're going to tell us who they are right here.
Drum roll. Okay, jelly roll. Jelly roll, we'll fake it. All right, in third place, wonderful parade. I see literally thousands of people lining Main Street, every one of them smiling and having a wonderful time. And I'll be there. Will you be there along with your...
I'll be looking for it, yes.
You'll be there, the force be with you. What did you call Brenda?
Rightly, absolutely. Deserved. I guess it's always good to be reminded that freedom really isn't free, that all the freedoms... We may come through with a few scars and bruises, but we come through.
We do.
I guess that's just about it here for our Hometown Days Parade.
The fire department is always bringing up the rear here on the 4th of July in Waupaca. And as you can see, Waupaca is getting bustling again. The crowd is on the move. There's a lot to do, and it's a great day to do whatever it is.
Looking back over 30 years, it's difficult to summarize all the memories I have of WIN TV in just a few seconds, but a lot of it has to do, of course, with the sports broadcast that we did. It takes a lot of people, a lot of time and effort to set up all the equipment to do football games especially. One of the things I remember is that when we first started using instant replay back doing Waupaca High School basketball games, we had an old van that was parked outside the old high school gym, and we ran all the cables and camera cables and tape cables and everything back and forth to our broadcast position, and seeing the instant replay, it felt just like big time TV here in Waupaca. So that's one of the fond memories I have of working here on WIN TV.
Programming on WIN TV is still strong today. WIN TV features City Council, School Board, and County Board meetings. Library and Senior Center programming, Winchester Academy lectures, our monthly community events TV program, What's Happening Waupaca, and special events going on in the Waupaca area.
I am Joni Kern, and for the anniversary show for WIN TV, who is 30 years old, I just find that awesome. I just want to share with you guys all about how excited I am to be part of what's going on here. I was honored to be invited to be the host of the What's Happening Waupaca show almost 3 years ago. We're almost 3 years old. And it just has been exciting to watch us grow and become, not only as people, but as a television show, and to get the word out and to have people on the street say that they have watched us. So I want to wish you a happy 30th birthday, WIN TV, and I certainly hope there are 30 more years coming.
Hi, I'm Chris Johnson. I work here behind the scenes. I just want to say that I really enjoy, one of the best parts of the job is to go out into the community and record events, interview people about what they're doing at the event, like the triathlon or Strawberry Fest or a music festival. something like that. And I just love interacting with the people and putting it together and showing that on WIN TV. So maybe you could wish Waupaca happy birthday on camera.
Happy birthday, Waupaca. It's a great city.
How it's building. It's about community building and about just celebrating. So everything here is free except for the food and the beer. Obviously you have to pay for art if you're buying it, but the workshops are free, the music is free. It's just a fabulous way to just celebrate Waupaca.
So we can look forward to it. I saw in the program that you already have some plans set aside for next year's.
Mike Weinfurter, Rhinelander, Wisconsin, and Merlin here. The airplane's a 1951 Cessna L-19 Bird Dog.
Hi, I'm Mark Erdman, part of the behind-the-scenes crew at WIN TV. 3 decades, 30 years, that's a long time to be serving Waupaca, bringing city council meetings, county board meetings, the annual 4th of July parade in Waupaca to everyone. And it's been just a great year and a half that I've been here involved with the crew, Chris and Josh and Joni, and I just have learned so much coming from another side of media. This has been just a great experience, and I hope to just see WIN TV prosper even more in the future. It's glad to be a part of it.
Hi, I'm Josh Werner with WIN TV. I've been involved with the station for the past 3.5 years. And when I got involved with the station, our biggest true traditions were covering city council meetings and the 4th of July parade every year. And since then we've worked on expanding programming, which is probably the neatest aspect of WIN TV. We've consistently covered county board meetings, school board meetings, and probably the neatest moment in my experience is launching our local community events TV program, What's Happening Waupaca, which is now produced every 3 weeks that we use to connect the citizens of the Waupaca area with the activity of their government and community. WIN TV's been on the air for 30 years, has done a lot, and there's still good life in the TV station, and we're looking at the future. And part of the future is looking to expand possibly with low-power FM radio station. And looking through our old historic newspaper articles that are preserved here at the station, I discovered that 30 years ago they were going through the same process to get a TV station going that we're going through right now to potentially launch an FM radio station to be a counterpart of WIN TV. Everything from raising the money necessary to get going, developing programming, and just getting support for it. So those are some of the things I've been involved with WIN TV, and happy birthday.
This is Mayor Brian Smith, and I just wanted to stop by and congratulate WIN TV on their 30th anniversary.
And I would just like to take this opportunity to wish WIN TV a happy 30th anniversary, and here's to 30 more years of quality programming for the city of Waupaca.
And I want to wish WIN TV a happy 30th birthday.
I just want to say happy birthday, WIN TV, for 30 years of being on the air.
Congratulations, WIN TV, on 30 years of service to our hometown.
Happy 30th birthday, WIN TV. Hope you're going to be around for many, many more years to come.
Congratulations to WIN TV on 30 years of providing quality local entertainment and information programming to the residents here in the greater Waupaca community.